What's going on? Thank you for tuning in to the NBA report on the NBK network. Um, it's the usual suspects. We back at it again, baby. You know how we do.
We are in the building.
What's going
What's going
on,
on, Ron?
brother? Chilling, chilling, chilling. Oh man, we're just getting through another day, man. I hope y'all out there having a good day. We're trying to give it to you, hit you quick with all the info we got, and hopefully you enjoy the show. So thank you. And without further ado, let's get it cracking.
Let's get it going.
Um, so as you guys already know, we like to start off with what's going on in the Eastern Conference on the whole, you know, the top team, the basement dweller, and we like to talk about where our Knicks are. If you guys haven't figured it out, when we get to the Knicks part, it's not going to be pretty. So once again, the Brooklyn Nets are still at the top of the Eastern Conference with a 20-8 record. They have won three in the row, and they're just clicking on all cylinders. They're doing what they do, and it's unfortunate, but it was something we're going to have to deal with. The Brooklyn Nets are back. All right. The Detroit Pistons are still in the basement, and they're at 4-22, and they have lost 12 in a row. Doing their thing. Go ahead, Detroit. And then you have the New York Knicks, who are coming off a loss to the Golden State Warriors. We'll get into that game a little bit more shortly, but that actually dropped them. I don't know if it dropped them, but they're holding steady in the 12th position. The last time we did this, they were in 11th. So the Knicks are going down. That's the bottom line. They're going down, and their record is 12-16. 12-16, John.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Who would have thought it, right?
I still, this team was 5-1. Okay, whatever. All right.
At one time.
12-16. Yeah. I don't know what's happening, man. I can't deal. I can't deal. Something's got to give. Anyway, let's start off with a little quick rundown, just real quick recap of what's going on in the league as far as standings go, because we're going to get into a couple different things this time around, and we want to involve the chat as well, get you guys all up in here with your thoughts and your questions. Definitely. So definitely, if you got something that you're already thinking about, obviously feel free to put that in the chat. And salute to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, salute.
The Southeast. Thank you, John. Thank you. In the Southeast Division, the Miami Heat are 16-12. And what can I say about them? But they're just doing what they do, and they're just holding steady. They're not on any big streaks, or whether it be positive or negative. I'm only going to mention if something looks like it's more than one game where there's some streak of some sort. So just stay tuned for that. So they're 16-12, and they're at the top of the Southeast Division. You got the Washington Wizards, who are 15-13, and they've lost their last two games, and they're right behind them. But you know what? I'll take that 15-13 any day over what our Knicks are doing.
Right. There is some question there around Dimwitty. I know there's some friction there.
There is
kind of highlighting.
There is some stuff going on over there. I mentioned it, I think, 2 weeks ago. They weren't that happy with the way Dinwiddie is controlling the offense. I don't know what's going on over there. They still look like they're doing pretty good to me, but hey, who am I, right?
True.
The Charlotte Hornets are 15-14. And that's kind of just they're just flipping position a lot. Charlotte and Atlanta just continue to flip position. And so right now Charlotte's got the upper hand there. Right. Moving on to the Central Division, the Chicago Bulls are 17-10 right now. They're losers of their last two games, but that's just more of like a blip. They're 17-10. They're still doing their thing, and I believe their losses are attributed to all of the people that are out due to the health and safety protocol, because they got hit hard.
Right.
We think our Knicks is bad. They got hit hard.
Yeah, we're sort of going through it just about now.
Yeah.
From Clyde.
Yeah.
Even Clyde got, what has to go through his protocol. So it's going to be interesting to see how many more folks were, connected to this or somehow find their way in this whole process, right? I don't want to say the C word, but
Right. Well, we know what you're talking
we
about.
know what
We
you're
we,
talking
we
about.
know what you mean.
That's so let's hope that
Uh,
no other players run the gamut. You know what I mean? Like run through this, so we could be all right. All right.
yeah, I hope not, man. I agree with you there. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks are 18-11. They are in the second spot in the Central Division. 18-11, guys. Just I want you guys to all pay attention to the Milwaukee Bucks all year because just look at how that record keeps changing. Milwaukee's back.
It
That's it.
shifted really quick.
It's over. We had our chance. It's over now.
So true.
And this is the team I'm really watching. I'm going to start seeing if I can catch their games. I don't have the league pass, but I'm definitely going to try. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 17-12 and have won their last 4 in a row. Cavs, man, they've turned it around over there. They've definitely, yeah.
They are taking people by surprise. I really do believe that that's the team that is surprising the NBA right now. They're an interesting group.
I agree. Excuse me. And that's pretty much the top 3 teams in the Central Division. And then we have our Atlantic Division, where you have the Brooklyn Nets, who I've already talked about. They're 20-8 at the top of that division and at the top of the Eastern Conference. Then you got the Philadelphia 76ers, who are 15-13. They've lost their last 2 games. But once again, look at where they came from and look at their record now. Even losing 2 games, they're 15-13. Ugh,
Right.
man. And then in third place in the Atlantic Division is the Boston Celtics, who are 14-14. And they've got a lot going on over there in Beantown too. There might be some stuff happening. They may be kind of active in the trade front. We don't know, but there's rumors going on about Jaylen Brown and others. If you guys tuned in earlier to the shoot around with Simeon Russell and the crew, he went into in depth about a lot of different trade scenarios around the league, as well as with the New York Knicks. So if you haven't seen that, guys, definitely check that out. There's some good info there.
Shout out to
and right, salute. And then obviously we've got the New York Knicks, who are 12-13. I'm sorry. They're worse than that, 12-16.
16, yeah.
12-16. and you pretty much know that there's a lot to talk about there. But we'll try to keep it brief and get through it all. But like I said, we want to give you guys a little different spin on the content. So instead of going through things a little slower, we're speeding it up, and now we're going right into the Knicks back page. You guys know how much I love to get into my Knicks back page. It's like my favorite part of the day. And in this Knicks back page, guess what, guys? Right now we stink. There's no other way around.
There's no other way to say it, right?
It's not looking too good. It's not looking too good, guys. We seem to be at the point where we don't know what we're doing out there. We're just grasping. We're trying to do anything to win a basketball game, but you got a struggling Julius Randle. Julius Randle is struggling so bad, guys, that he's passing up open shots. What is happening, John? What's happening?
Which is interesting because towards the back end of this game against the Warriors that we just had, he actually was the only person scoring for us in the fourth quarter. So hopefully he turned it around. Hopefully that clicked, and we come into the next couple of games, a couple of series that we play, and he's on point. I'm hoping he is more aggressive. Even at the very least, start the game aggressively. Take those open shots, take those open threes. Drive to the basket, get your opportunities, take them. You know what I mean? If you're given those opportunities, take them. I just don't want to see another outcome that we've been seeing the last few days with him. Deferring mostly is the reason why he's deferring to other players. I think he needs to take ownership, and hopefully he will. The good thing, on a positive note, if I can have any positive to say here, the next, I want to say 4 to 5 games we have, we are going to be playing against teams that are sort of in the middle grounds, as far as records are concerned, right? We're
Mhm.
supposed to be seeing Detroit possibly twice. We're supposed to see the Hawks. We're going to see the Celtics. All teams that, may sort of have the similar records. I mean, we're like 4 games back. We're probably 2.5 games back from a couple of these teams, in the standings, I should say. And
Mhm.
maybe this is our opportunity to actually, you know, take some wins and get some wins and get on a winning streak, and hopefully get to a position where we're sort of back in the mix, right? And we can play at the very least 500 basketball. So
Right.
let's see, man. I mean, my fingers are crossed. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything I can do. It's interesting today, and we'll go to it. There's a reason why I'm wearing this hat today, but we're gonna go to that later. Um, but this is sort of the opposite approach for me. I would usually have a New York Knicks hat instead of have a Jordan's hat, and you'll see why in just a minute. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's the hope, man. I'm hoping that our Knicks put it together, man.
I hope you're right too, bro. I hope you're right too. But I mean, it is what it is right now. And I'm just saying this, guys, because in the end, Julius Randle did finish with 31 points in this game. I don't know how he got hot, but he definitely got hot towards the third quarter, going into the fourth, and he
Yep.
finished with 31 points. After not looking like he wanted to shoot anything past an up shot, somehow he put it all together. So, and I guess that's what makes Julius Randle a star player in the league, huh? You think? Maybe that's it. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the quality. You could
maybe.
struggle so bad and still finish with 31 points.
Yeah. Some would say that's an empty stat, but I don't know. I mean, I think he did what he
Well,
could at the back end.
right. And I will tell you this: we lost the game, obviously, but nobody was scoring.
Yeah.
So
No one.
Julius gave us, a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel
it
bad
was
for
tough.
Burks, and I got this from a friend of mine. Shout outs to my guy Dub, who pointed out to me that not only was Burks having a horrible shooting game, right? He was
Hmm.
also on the highlight for one Steph
Oh,
Curry.
right, right. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah, he was definitely on the highlight. That's a good point.
And will
And
forever
you know
be
what?
known and in the history books and will be seen forever. So that's a tough break.
That's not ideal. It's not what you want. But hey, listen. At least one thing you can say, he can tell his kids when they get older, you're not going to forget me. I'm
Right.
somewhere in the NBA. You're going to see me. So I'm always going to be there.
So true.
Yeah, and uh, the other thing about Burks is he just had a kid, and so
He did.
he's dealing with the daddy stuff. So that's got to be when. I mean, he just had a kid, so that's fresh.
Right.
We
Right.
got to cut him some slack. Cut him some slack. So
Yeah, I really
anyway,
hope he has help. His family
yeah,
has help. I'm hoping they all help pitching in. So
I hope so too. Well, I just want to touch on one thing real quick, guys. If you haven't noticed, the name of the show is the NBA Report, but the main thing that was in the thumbnail was December 15th.
right.
That's today, and guess what? Nothing has happened. So this
Quiet.
day, this day means nothing right now. I just
Yep.
wanted to throw that out there real quick because we thought something might happen today, especially on the Nick front. At least a chance that we'd hear a rumor that they're
A
talking about something.
chatter, anything.
Nothing, nada, guys, nada. So, you know what? Instead of focusing on the what ifs, which
Right.
I don't know if you guys have seen the what ifs on Disney, it's a really good show. Check that out. But instead of focusing on the what ifs, why don't we look at what actually did take place? What actually did take place is the Knicks played the Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry made history.
Right.
He went out there and he basically
Surpassed.
he put us in a situation, man. He put us in a situation where he made history on our court, on
Right.
our court. Okay. Um, And that's one of those things, man. You gotta deal with it. It was gonna happen, unless he didn't play, it was unavoidable. So
Right.
congrats to him, kudos to him, and we're gonna get into him a little bit more. But I just wanted to feature that real quick and make sure that we give him his props. Salute to Steph Curry for doing the damn thing. I think he said it himself in the press conference. He never wanted to refer to himself as the best shooter in the NBA or in the league or whatever. But now that he's got that record, he feels comfortable if that's his title.
Right.
So
not only that, I mean, you go back we could go back to that quick slide real quick just to look at those numbers and the amount of games that he did it in. You know what I mean? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the game has changed, but that's just outrageous, the amount of games.
I mean, that's crazy.
He's going to surpass that by so much because they're shooting like 43s to what back in the day they used to shoot like maybe 11 threes a game. I think at max, maybe like the old school Golden State Warriors maybe, or any Fat Sun, the Phoenix Suns maybe, but like now they're shooting up to 40 per game, if not more. So
yeah, it's crazy. The game has definitely changed. I don't know. Some might say it's not for the better. Some might say it's for the better. That's all for debate. But the game has definitely changed. It's not your 90s NBA.
That's for sure.
So, but you know what? I think we should touch a little bit more on Steph Curry. But before we do that, guys, listen. It's a little weird. It's a little surreal right now what's going on with the Knicks because we were able to avoid it last year. This year we did get hit by the health and protocols bug, right? Unfortunately, RJ Barrett's out. Quentin Grimes just got hot, had his first start as an NBA rookie and played great. And he got hit with it right after. But the player I want to talk about right now who got hit with the bug as well is our player of the week. And that was Mr. Obi Toppin.
Yep,
that's
that
right.
Is one Obi Toppin,
the Bismarcky player of the week. The thing about Obi is like you feel bad for the kid, man. He's been playing good basketball in the amount of minutes he's getting. Then he finally gets 23 minutes or 24 minutes, either 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And he puts up 19 points and 10 rebounds, and then he gets smacked with the health protocols. Come on, son.
That's a great stat line too, man. I mean, and he's been playing really, really well, and hasn't gotten enough minutes, and finally we get some minutes on the court, and we got to shut him down. It's outrageous, but that's sort of been the glimpse of the New York season. When you look under the hood, this is what we're running into, where we have horrible starts. If not in the beginning of games, it's the start of the second half, and that's sort of been the tail of the tape for us all season so far.
Dude, you can't make this stuff up. Every time something goes good for us this year, we get hit with something bad. Like this is just one of them years. Oh man. Anyway, guys, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer. I wanted to salute Obi though, because he deserves it. It just stinks that he can't play now. And I feel bad for him, and I feel bad for Grimes because Grimes may never get that look again. Who knows?
It's true. So, and we've seen the jitters, man. You could tell he had some rookie jitters coming into that. He seemed like he did some good things though. I want to say that. I mean, he did some good things. So I'm gonna give him love there. I mean, he tried, he played hard, but you could tell that it was like the lights were bright. And you seen them. Then he's up against the Warriors, man. Talk about anxiety, right? You got to chase around.
Exactly.
Curry.
Come on,
it's nuts.
You know what? It's good. Well, I mean, you mean Deuce? You mean?
Yeah, Deuce.
Yeah. Deuce. I was talking about I was talking about Grimes. The fact that he got that start, and he's probably not going to get that start again unless something changes. But being that you did bring up Deuce, let's just give a quick salute to Deuce, who we as Knicks fans, we wanted to see a little bit more of Deuce. And you know what? He didn't disappoint. And and I gotta salute Deuce, because Deuce is that's the difference when you. But it could be Tibbs is right. You got to play the kid in the G League, get him hot, get him
Right.
comfortable. Then when he comes into and gets that moment, he knows what to do. He scored 8 points and he looked smooth doing it. Of
Yeah.
course, there was some other
There
issues
was
with
some
the
jitters.
game,
There
some
was some
jitters,
jitters. There was some
but
jitters.
but yeah, but for the most part, I think he did really good in his first performance where
Right.
he got meaningful minutes.
And he had to chase, like I said, Steph Curry. Like, talk about
Correct.
anxiety. Like, it's nuts. It's like your first
No, no,
game in.
no. That's
That's
like,
not the guy you
that's
want
not
to be
what you want to
guarding.
do. No.
That's not the guy.
But hey, if anybody can do it, it's my man Deuce. So good, good,
Hey,
good for
let's
him. Good for him.
show confidence, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to throw this out there real quick before we move on. This is what I've been talking about all year. This is what I feel Tibbs has been worried about, guys. I feel Tibbs knows that he has these guys on the team, but the problem is his team is not functioning well. They're not playing good basketball. So he was worried and afraid to put these rookies out there. Because once you put these rookies out there and they give you anything, a little spark, the fan base is going to go crazy. The media is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And they're going to start saying that the vets got to be benched or you got to trade the vets. And we've been seeing it, haven't we? That's what's happening right now.
Yep.
This is what Tibbs knew was going to happen. So hopefully we're able to right the ship, because I don't want this whole infighting, because it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen.
We gotta break through this wave of insecurity from Knicks fans. It's like we have to break through. We got to get some wins. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that the next 4 to 5 games we get back into the win column and sort of like you said, right the ship and get back into the swing of things. Let's hope.
I hope so, buddy.
Let's keep
I hope
those fingers crossed. Keep those fingers crossed.
Well, you know what? Being that Steph Curry did, break the NBA record for most 3-pointers made, on national TV in the world's famous arena. And I think it's pretty interesting that all these people break records in our arena and none of the Knicks players break any records. I mean,
Right.
Carmelo had one, he scored the most points as a
Right.
Knick in the arena, but we don't get these records for whatever reason. So that's the culture we got to change. But
Right.
it does bring up a question, a very interesting question that it was a hot ticket item earlier today, man. In our group chat, our personal group chat, it was going crazy. I didn't even want to jump in. I was like, yo, that's too hot, B. I ain't jumping in there.
This is one that I want actually the chat to chime in on. I want to see what the feedback is from our chat to see what their take on this is. So let's propose the question. Let's put that out there.
So here's the question, chat. Should Stephen Curry be in the NBA Mount Rushmore conversation? What do you guys think? Is it time? I mean, I know there's gonna be people that are like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then there's other people like, maybe, because it's a very divisive type of subject. You got to look at Steph Curry for everything he's done. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. First off,
career already.
Yeah. And first off, we already know he just, became the 3-point, makes leader. So that's a record that's going to stay with him. And I think I was watching the broadcast and Kenny Smith said that he thinks it'll be broken because the volume of threes in the NBA is going to go up overall. Let me tell you something. I don't think that record's getting broken. Steph still got a lot of life in his legs. That record is going to be bananas. So I don't think it's going to get broken.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows if it's going to be broken? But it's going to be crazy to see that stat line once it's all said and done for his career, And so the question remains: will he be should he be in conversation as NBA Mount Rushmore? Should he be top of the elite? Should he be a part of the 4? What does the chat think?
And the thing about, listen, I know you don't see him there, but it's all debatable. This Mount Rushmore that this is the Mount Rushmore that's argued the most in NBA circles around the around the world, around the league. Fans, we don't quite know who's in that top 4.
Right.
because it's always changing. Because I know he's not there at the moment, but Kobe also is in contention for one of those spots.
Yeah, I would say
Um,
Kobe, Magic. I would say Kobe, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell. Those are the ones that come to mind for me. Wilt Chamberlain. Um, they're all sort of in that mix in the conversation as top 4 NBA of all time. There may be others, but the question remains: will this be the time for people to start bringing Curry into the conversation? I think it is. I personally think it is. However, the GOAT for me is this man right here. This man right here still holds true to me as the GOAT. He is the best that ever done it, in my opinion. Unfortunately, we as Knicks fans have seen, sort of the horror, and we suffer the most for it because under his reign as his eliteness and in his prime, he took us out of a lot of those chances that we had to contend for an NBA
mhm.
championship. You know what I mean? So um, for me, it's going to be MJ. It's going to be MJ for a very long time until someone else comes in and sort of trumps his stat line, his performances in the playoffs, his championships, his pedigree. Um, but I don't know, man. Steph Curry, he is an elite player. He's an elite star. He actually has changed the game. Some would say for the worst. But the NBA game is never going to be the same. When you have entire playbooks, defensive strategies that are predicated on stopping you, then you've changed the game.
You're doing something. You're doing something. That is
Yeah,
right.
that is a fact.
Um, let me just run down real quick. Give you guys a salute in the chat before I get to what your thoughts are on if you think that Curry belongs in the Mount Rushmore conversation. Salute to Deron Wayne, Chevion Productions, Akuma, David, David Gates, Getz, should I say? Geraldine McIver, salute. You know how we feel about you, Geraldine. El Servi, Roberto
Right.
Mendez, Christian, um, and let's see here. Let's Yahoo, Real King, and P. Ramos said that he thinks he's a top shooter, but don't know about Mount Rushmore.
Mm. Well, it's
Mm.
interesting, and the reason why we brought it up today was because there was a Bleacher Report, um, you know, uh, sort of an article from Bleacher Report, actually breaking it all down for NBA fans, and to just go through all of his stats. I wish we had that, but we don't have it in front of us, so we can't point to a lot of the article. But when you guys get a chance, look for that article. It's interesting. They talk about his percentages from the field, what he shot over a career. Of course, all of his attributes and accolades. And yeah, I mean, I personally think there should be a discussion. I think when it's all said and done, he will be in discussion, even though he is playing right now, so they may not be sort of that conversation. However, there is that conversation with LeBron, um, and you know, some are arguing that LeBron will be top 4, top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, what do you guys feel? Let us know where we at.
Yeah, because that's the thing, and just to point to something real quick. Now, I mean, this all depends on how you look at it. Maybe this stuff is meaningless to you, but
Right.
nevertheless, these are records for Steph Curry. I mean, the most threes in a season prior was 269 by Ray Allen in the 2005-2006 season. In 2015-2016 season, Steph Curry shattered that with 402 threes in a season. Went from 269 from Ray Allen to 402 by Steph Curry.
Big
Um,
leap.
yep. Most games with 10 plus threes made. Um, in the past, there was J.R. Smith who had 3. Steph
Right.
Curry has 22.
Wow.
Most threes from 27 feet. Now this is kind of funky. This is more like this is like buying a Corvette, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, all right, whatever. But for just purposes, for
It's a
giggles,
glamour stat. It's a glamour
it's a
stat.
glamour style. Yeah. It's Fabergé,
Right.
Most threes from 27 feet. Kobe Bryant was the leader in that at one point with 211. And that's weird to me because I don't even think that Kobe used to shoot from that far, but okay. All right.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has 703.
I think for Kobe, they may have counted the fadeaway three,
It might have
which he
been.
did a
He
lot.
faded away a lot further. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it took him over that 27-foot line.
Right.
And then most seasons leading the NBA in threes. Ray Allen was the leader with 3 seasons.
Right.
Steph Curry currently holds that with 7 seasons. So, in regards to those shooting stats, I mean, he's a monster. And we already know he's a great free throw shooter, and 2 points is like whatever. It's like a layup for him.
MVP.
Right.
He had multiple MVPs, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then the other thing, here's another funky little stat. Most seasons averaging 5 made threes per game. He has 4 seasons averaging that. No one else has that record.
There's no arguing. He's the best shooter ever to play in the NBA. I mean, that's without question right now, right?
Yeah.
The question still remains, though, is that enough to get him in the conversation to be spoken upon the Mount Rushmore?
Well, Christian says, nope, too soft.
Too soft. Can you elaborate? Do we need defensive stats? I mean, like, is it predicated on him having more defensive stats? Is sort of my question. Like, is that because I mean, a defense is a number that you can sort of, quantify, for like a singular possession, but really it's about the team motto, right? Like, what does the team do defensively? And he's played with the Warriors his entire career. The Warriors have never really been known as a defensive juggernaut, right? So they pretty much outscore you. And so elaborate on that a little bit, I'm interested. I'm interested on that take.
Yahoo says, and I hope I'm saying that right, Yahoo Iluya, work with me. Steph had to take a backseat to KD, though. So hard for me to add him there. I mean,
did he though?
Because maybe he willingly took a backseat because it was his team.
Yeah, and it's almost like I would say that KD needed more the Warriors more than than not, right? Because he couldn't get over the hump. They weren't able to beat the Warriors in multiple occasions, and so better join them. At that point, he was kind of like, if I can't beat them, I might as well join them. So I don't know about that one. KD to me is a great scorer as well in my eyes, but he will never get the same props if he doesn't win away from Steph Curry, if he doesn't win a championship of his own. He got one, and is that enough? I don't think so. I think Steph, with his career still going, he may have an opportunity to get a couple more. And his team is playing really, really well this year. So there is a possibility there. But yeah, what else would he need to do in order to be in that conversation? Does he need to be better at defense? Does he need to, build those stats up? What is it? What makes an elite NBA player become like sort of what they call the heart, the face of the NBA? And I think right now I would say Curry is the face of the NBA. Him and LeBron sort of 1A, 1B, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, Geraldine, she says she feels the same, guys. So, I guess that she thinks that he should be in the conversation. We're not saying that Curry's better than the other people that have already been mentioned, but it's the point.
I already said it.
Right.
For me, it's
exactly.
the GOAT. I mean, he's the GOAT. Michael Jordan. I mean, that's without question in my eyes. But
no, man, that's a cop out, man. You can't do that. He said just need to add more heads to Rushmore and he'll be on it. Come on, man. Come on, Antonio. You can't do that, man. Come on. Yeah, I mean that's one way to get him on on the list. That's yeah.
That's an easy
Nah,
way to get him
B.
on the list. And you might as well add Kobe to that list, and Magic, and everyone else.
Yeah. Um, Juan Carlos says, "Yeah, for Le Flop, sure, take him anytime." Okay. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I mean, listen. You know, LeBron has done a lot of good things in his own right. It's tough. But look, this is what we can point to with regards to Steph Curry, right? We know about his shooting accolades, but like John mentioned, he's got MVPs.
Right.
He's got 3 championships, 2 by himself. You know what I mean? Then Mr. Durant wanted to go join the fray, and that's why he got one. So that's 3 championships. It's definitely, that's like a benchmark for really good players. You don't want one. 2 is like, okay, you could do it again. That shows something. But when you get 3, you're pushing that elite story. You know what I mean? Of course, everybody wants 5, but 3 is a good number, man. I wouldn't be mad at 3. Give me Julius Randle with 3 championships. You see how happy I get.
Right. It's true. Yeah, there. Oh, shout outs to my cousin Ill Will. What's up, bud? How's it going? All right. I see him on. Throwing those emojis up. So quick one though. Who's someone who doesn't really get talked about, and in this conversation, he's sort of similar to Bill Russell, right? Where he's not in the conversation. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, who's won everywhere he's went, and has all the stat lines, and what is he, a 4-time champion, right? Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. I think he's 4 or 5. Right? Definitely 4 though. Definitely 4. He might be 5.
Right. So it's interesting.
But the problem with
everything he's done.
Tim Duncan is so vanilla, man. He's like Ramiro Mendoza, yo. He's sleepy out there. That's a Yankee joke, guys. If you don't know, Ramiro Mendoza always had the sleepy eyes. He looked like he was about to fall asleep on the mound. But anyway, whatever.
Yep.
P. Ramos says he definitely is the face of the NBA today, but I'm thinking all time. But that's the whole thing. Like, he's doing so many promising things. When do you start to say, hey, maybe he's in that all-time discussion? Because one thing about him, don't forget, guys, we can point to him directly and say that he changed the NBA. The way guys play, the way they shoot these threes now. Look, it's one thing to shoot threes. That we always saw that. It's one thing to shoot a lot of threes. You can give him credit for that. But not only that, he's shooting far threes. And now you got all types of guys. If you took a 3 like that in a regular season game back in the day, you go straight to the bench, man. Straight to the bench.
You may not even find playing time again at some depending on the team you came from, So
now it's everywhere. Now it's look at what what's his name? Bajit. I don't know his name. The dude on the Warriors, the big dude. Dude was shooting from like half court on us. Holy crap.
You know what's also crazy though? Like the conversations that happen in the offseason. Like when you think about the NBA trying to stretch the 3 out further because of, and it's not only Curry, but it's also like Damian Lillard. But like it starts with Curry, right? Like you change the game. When anytime, you know what I mean? When you look at the NBA or you look at teams in general that predicate their entire defense on stopping one individual, like that's what you get with the top guys. Now, when people say Magic, did they really focus in on Magic? I don't know. I don't know if I could say that. I know he was a part of what you needed to stop, but I don't know if he was a guy that they wanted to stop from scoring a bucket or 2. You could say that was the case for LeBron. You could say that at moments, in his career. Definitely Michael Jordan. Even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly known as Alcindor. So,
yes,
yeah. So I just don't know, man. Keep sending your thoughts. What else we got? Who else?
King Ribby says Greek Freak. Yeah, he's not there yet, but he definitely could be. He could be. Your cousin laughed at you. Akuma says, if you go by stats, Bron number 1. I'm talking regular stats and advanced stats, regular season and playoffs. I mean, yeah, if you go just by stats, then LeBron is number one. But don't forget, LeBron has played a lot of basketball, a lot of years. If you go by just, if you took LeBron's best years, um, and compared them to Jordan's years that he played, and just
Right.
compared those same amount of years, I think Jordan has the edge. But when you go over totality and look at all of LeBron's years, of course he dwarfs Jordan because he's just played. So he's been in the league since, you know what, he was
He was
17,
14.
18.
14.
Like
I'm
what?
kidding.
Huh?
14
What?
no.
Hmm?
But he
Come
was
on,
young,
son.
man. 17, bro. Like that's young. That's young to be an
Yeah,
NBA
man. Like,
player.
yeah. He's played a lot of basketball. A lot of
Right.
basketball. Um, yep. Thank you, Will. Smash that like button.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Yahoo says Duncan has
Duncan,
5. Okay,
5.
5. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 5. 5. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciate you. Oh, wait, sorry
Did
about
we
that.
miss one? We
Go
missed
back to
one.
that. Yeah. Go back to that. My fault. There we go. Mount Rushmore to me is
Hey,
all around
Ramos.
player, defensive and offensive. Curry has a dope team, but I wonder if he would get those great looks if he was drafted by the Pistons.
Hmm. But he wasn't. We could say the same thing about Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the system, right? You kind of grow within the system. Um, I know we had
Mm,
discussions around errors on our chat, on our personal chat. There was a discussion around errors and could Curry play in any era? You know what I mean? A
right.
lot of folks don't believe he could. I personally think he would. He's an elite athlete. I think they transform to and adapt to any era. But I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Because eras do matter. And would Curry be this effective in the 90s in that rough, rugged ball, like go into the lane, get put on your backside type era? I don't know. But could he still shoot from outside? Yeah, he definitely could.
I
So
mean, Reggie Miller made a career in that era, right? And not to say he's the same size as Reggie, but he's shooting further out than Reggie. So now you have to defend that. And they were slower. They were way slower back in the day. Like you didn't
yeah,
have guys coming out chasing you around like that. And with his skill set, he would have easily put up the same kind of numbers. I there's no question in my mind.
I kind of think that back, but if he played in those eras and shooting from far out, people would just be trying to punch him in the face way out there on the court. They gotta hit
Disrespectful.
him somehow. Gotta hit him somehow.
It's kind of like what is it? Terrell Owens running at the star.
Right.
Doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mad disrespectful. That's
Right.
how it is. That's how it was, should I say.
That's true.
A real king says, first thought, I say yes.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, listen, there's no wrong answer here. It's all opinionated, right? It's opinion based.
Right.
He has enough stats and accolades to, if you compare him to other guys that are on the list, he could be mentioned. Do
Right.
you feel like he's better than those guys? No, like John already said, Jordan's his number one. I would say Jordan's my number one too, even though I can't stand them, but it is
It's
what
hard.
it
It's
is.
hard. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Dripmore, salute,
Salute.
Dripmore. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. The only reason players like Quickly get that green
It's
light
true.
for those crazy shots are because of Curry. Yep, that's right, P.
Absolutely.
Ramos. That is correct. Akuma, y'all really didn't watch Bron his first 3-4 years. He was shooting from half court, nothing but net. Yeah, nothing but hitting the bottom of the net, not going in the rim.
I, I think the biggest thing for LeBron, and which he learned later in his years, it was the clutch gene, right? He was known as a guy who couldn't perform in the clutch and wasn't able to hit the big shot. And then he figured out when he went to Miami and then went back to Cleveland and showed everybody that he was able to do that and carry his team. No one's saying anything. LeBron is an elite player, man. That's without question, and has been for a very long time. He's also probably up there in the years played as well, right? Did he come into the league before Curry? I think he did, maybe 1 or 2 years prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
he's
you know,
probably
I
like
mean,
14, 15 years in if Curry
and
got 15 years.
I'm just joking about LeBron. I know he used to hit some interesting shots. Clutch time, he wasn't there, and he
I like when you
deferred
say
in
interesting.
past time. Yeah,
It
I
was
mean, you know,
interesting.
it was interesting. Yeah, so um, you know that Kuma said that makes it even better. Who has played 19 seasons, still has full
Sign
caliber. It
19.
always something. Take
19
this
seasons.
away, take
Wow.
that away. Nah, it is what it is. It ain't back in the day anymore. You're right. That's
Yes,
right.
that's
But
a
you know
true
what?
statement.
That is true. But as a person who watched the games back in the day, I'm gonna tell you right now, your favorite team will get smacked by a lot of teams in the league from back in the day because the
No, but not
physicality.
you talking
No,
about
no, not
like
everybody, not
you
everybody.
but you're also speaking in terms of actual physically slapped,
Yeah,
not
no,
just
no, physically smacked up, B.
right. Physically smacked up, not just
Yeah. It ain't
beaten.
gonna be score. What? You want to shoot a three in my face and do a
Here's an
little dance?
elbow. Yeah.
Crazy? You want to dunk on me? Do a little
Elbows were
shimmy?
flying back in the
Nah,
day.
no, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, the brawls was serious back in those days. And
Yeah,
they
it was crazy.
televised them all, which was crazy.
And Antonio says Curry's stats don't show the fact that kids playing pickup these days can knock down a three, but their layups clink off the backboard. Hey,
That's a
yo,
fact.
I can't fault you on that, bro. You
Their
speaking
layup
facts
game is garbage. Their layup game is
trash
garbage.
bags. They
It's
definitely
crazy.
not in them jelly highlights. No, they're not.
Oh
Um,
man.
let me see here. Jordan's best Robin was Pippen, but LeBron had another Batman at his side in AD, Kyrie, and D Wade.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh-huh.
true.
I mean, that makes sense. They all had a nice sidekick that helped them.
Yeah, everyone
Um,
did. Everyone did because Curry has Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. You could go down the list. Every one of those players under Mount Rushmore had players around them that made them better, and took them over the hump. So that's the same for everyone.
Akuma says, sound goofy. I stay in Ohio. I've watched the game. He was hitting buckets from half court. Yeah, he was hitting buckets from half court. And in the end of the game, he was also giving the big shot to someone else on the team because he wasn't prime
Kyrie,
time.
Kyrie.
No. We're talking about LeBron.
No, LeBron. He gave it to Kyrie
Yeah,
a
to
few
Kyrie,
times.
correct. I mean, listen, you can say what
It's
you want. You
okay.
could be you a homer for LeBron. That's cool, but you got to
It's okay.
face the facts that in the beginning,
Right.
LeBron deferred. He wasn't big time. He wasn't primetime TV when it comes to hitting the big shot. Was he everything else? Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a
absolutely.
great player to watch. I mean, what other person commanded such a stage? Got NBA players and fans and NBA media going to his high school games. I give LeBron crazy props. He was a great.
Yeah.
He was
He
and
still
still is
is.
a great
Yeah.
player. Yeah,
To
but
be
you
doing
got
at
to
his
look at what
age.
it was though.
Yeah.
Evolution. People
Yeah.
just got better. LeBron got better. He wasn't that guy. Even all the top guys like Jordan, Kobe, all used to say it. LeBron's got to take control of those situations, and he's got to take that last shot and get
Yeah.
that killer instinct. It took him a while to get it, but he didn't have it right away.
Right.
He worked towards it.
Not to mention the NBA gave him a bone by taking away the hand check.
Right.
At his
Right.
size, he wouldn't have to he wouldn't have to deal with that sort of defensive strategy where you had your Barclays of the world, your MJs of the world. They all had to deal with the hand check defense. So, listen, it's what it is, man. Different eras had
It's true.
different things.
Yeah. If and we're gonna take a couple more about this, and we want to get to
And we got
something
to
else
wrap it
real
up.
quick.
Yep.
If Steph Curry played in the 90s, he would be injury prone. He would never survive dribbling in the inside. And Joel C., you are someone who knows what's going on because that is pretty much the bottom line. I will say that might be true because if we remember Steph Curry's first 3 to 4
Seasons, yeah.
years in the league, he was hurt a lot. He had really bad ankle injuries. And in
Yep.
the 90s, that stuff would have been amplified. He would have been getting beat up all the time. And,
Yeah.
it would have been tough. It would have
Which
been
is
tough.
also why though he bulked up. He ain't the same Steph Curry that came into the league. You figure it out. You bulk up, you hit the gym, you get stronger. And I just think like as a superior athlete like Steph Curry is, I think he would have figured it out. He would have gotten his body right. And it wasn't like he was no stranger to the NBA. You know what I mean? Like he grew up around the NBA. His Del Curry, his dad, played in the NBA. Like there's no question he would have figured it out. At least the
Right,
physical standpoint, in my opinion. It's my opinion, but
right, right.
I just feel like he would have figured it out, and still put up the numbers that he's putting up today.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He would have definitely figured it out as long as he was able to get healthy.
Yeah.
Salute, Quiet Money. Appreciate you as always. Uh,
Yep. Yep.
he says
Freaking
we're
frack.
we're the new freaking frag. There we go. um. Yeah. Listen, big facts. LeBron took a team, the Cavaliers,
Yep.
when he was 20 years old, to the championship game, and that team was a lottery team. I look.
Absolutely.
I'm. You know, the I'm not going to fault you if you feel like LeBron was that dude. The question was about Steph Curry, but I hear what you're saying about LeBron. I agree
Hey,
with you.
he's already in the conversation of Mount
Yeah, he's
Rushmore,
already
right? Like
there.
he's
We're
already
just trying
there.
to see if
Yeah.
we can add somebody to the list.
Oh, we're
Um,
asking if he should be talked about and be
right,
presented in conversation around the list. We're not necessarily saying
right.
he needs to be on it.
We're not putting him. He's not directly on the list. We think
Right.
this is all about what you guys think, if he even
Right.
deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah, and again,
Um,
I'll say it again for those who came in late or whatever. There was a Bleacher Report sort of article that came up to, and we both were able to see and look at, and that's what sparked us to make this a topical question for today's show. So I'm glad you all are enjoying this and also chatting and giving your input, man. I appreciate it. It's a great conversational piece. I see Andre Jackson in the house. Yes, that's our brother. Hell no. Good. We brought this conversation from, what I mean, from our personal chat into this chat. So we appreciate you guys for joining in. But yeah, man, it's up for debate, man. I see everyone there's I don't know how to call this. I don't even know how to present like what is the findings of this, but hey, it's a conversation to be had.
we try. My man, as we said, Andre Jackson. That's one of our partners. Our
Yeah.
partners.
AKL L Train, AKA L
L
Train.
Train. Right. Knicks 100. Ron and Jon. Oh, y'all fancy, huh? Yeah.
We try.
Hey man, we here. We here. Salute Queens Court. Thank you,
There you go.
Steph. Appreciate you.
What's going on?
Oh, look at that. That's my man Keyshawn. Okay. Look at Keyshawn up in the building. I don't think I've seen you on watching our show, bro. I appreciate that. I know you're always on Blowing's Tears with Uncle Freezy, man. I love hearing your feedback over there. So thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
Appreciate
tuning in.
you.
Appreciate it. Julius Randle should be in the conversation. Not just yet.
Yeah. What? Huh? What'd you say, Julius? Who? What? Anyway, yeah, guys, we just wanted to kind of hit you guys with that a little bit because Steph Curry did make history, and we thought it was right to kind of just touch on it real quick and see what you guys thought about it, because I think it is a conversation that's going to start creeping up, because that's when you have a special player like that. These are the type of conversations that do happen eventually, whether it's premature now or it's it should be happening some other time. The conversation is going to happen because Steph keeps playing basketball and he keeps playing at a high level. So eventually, whether we like it or not, whether you feel a certain way about it, he's going to get in the conversation. We just want to see if he's ready for it now.
Right. And that's a fact. But yeah, let's definitely start wrapping this up, man. But before we wrap, we should, talk about some of our legends. What do you think?
Oh, I definitely think we should talk about our legends. Maybe a blast from the past.
Oh. Just on point. Our boy Bob McAdoo. That's what's up. Hey, did you know Bob McAdoo had the highest career points per game scoring average in New York Knicks regular season history? Out of all players with at least 1,000 field goal attempts, the high scoring 6'9" forward played 14 seasons in the league. And it began brilliantly because he garnered Rookie of the Year honors, 3 consecutive scoring championships, and an MVP award, all in the first 4 years in the league. His brilliant play was witnessed in a Knicks uniform from 1976 through 1979 and 52 games of the 1976-77 season, McAdoo averaged 26 points and 12.7 rebounds. Unfortunately, he would only play his first season in a Knicks uniform with both teammates Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl the Pearl Monroe. Soon after the 1976-1977 season, Frazier was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for the younger Jim Clemens. The trade left the NBA world stunned, as many people were furious that New York was willing to let go of arguably the greatest player in franchise history. That's a little bit about Bob McAdoo.
Wow.
Shout outs to Bob.
Bobby Mack, man. Once a Knick, always a Knick. Salute to you, sir. Bob McAdoo, people.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. Come on now. You see it? You know what it is.
One of the greatest scorers we had in Knicks history, man.
I can't wait till one, day when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and we talking about our great Knick, Miles Deuce McBride. I can't wait.
I hope so. I really do.
I hope so too. I hope so too. We about to get out of here. I'm gonna do this, but it's not about me. I'm just gonna put it out there. But it's not about me. If anything, I think about our people that hold us down on the ones and twos. This is my government, yo. Don't be trying to get me in trouble out there, people. All right. I'm putting it there. But like I said, that's just it is what it is, man. I want to salute to everybody who came through. Salute to my man Jay Boogie. I see what you asking for, Jay Boogie. Listen, you don't got to do nothing. I don't, we out here doing it for the love. But like I said, if something happens, I'm thinking about my man who holds us down on the ones and twos. That's Jose. So appreciate you no matter what. And definitely salute to all y'all. We're about to get up out of here, but I just want to make sure that I hit all the names. Jay Boogie, you know what he said. Salute with the 3 capital S. You know how he do. I wish I could rhyme like you, B. I can't, man. I'll be that next podcast in the remix. Yo, put me on there. I'll harmonize, B.
You're gonna hit him with the Barry White voice.
Yeah, man. Man. I gotta definitely chop it up with Jay Boogie soon. Gogol Poe, appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I think we hit everybody up who jumped in. Oh, and Hove SG. Randall Bad Energy. Hey, man, maybe, man. But we appreciate you regardless. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, this has been the NBA Report on the Nothing But Knicks Network. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend, tells a friend who tells another friend about our show. Because you know what? We appreciate being here and giving the show to you. It's a change of pace for Nothing But Knicks. You guys know that Nothing But Knicks is all Knick content. This is just a sprinkle of a little something else, man. I know for everybody, it's not ideal. People just want to talk about the Knicks. That's your team. I'm with you. But like I said before, sometimes you got to know what's going on in the NBA. There's other stuff happening. And we got to salute and honor people like Steph Curry that do special things. So definitely stick with us. We're going to keep giving you that content. I'm Ron. That's my brother John from Still Knicks Fans. Definitely go check us out. Our channel. It's out there. We appreciate all y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one, man. We out of here.
We out. Peace.